with a spokesperson for the Broward Sheriff's Office, Mike Jackals. Good afternoon, Mike. Are you with us?
Yes, Amy.
First of all, what can you tell us about how these two people are doing? And then, of course, so many questions about what happened, what went wrong with this aircraft.
Well, first, the good news is it appears both people that were on this small airplane that had to make a landing out in the Everglades are not injured. They gave a thumbs up to our BSO air rescue helicopter when they were overhead. What happened was we got the call just before 11:30 along with Pembroke Pines Fire Rescue and the U.S. Coast Guard. This was a multi-agency effort because the location, we didn't know exactly where this was. It came in initially as Sheridan Street in US 27, which is Pembroke Pines. They responded out there. We had the helicopter overhead, and they located the crash several miles west of US 27 in the Everglades. Both two men on board. They were both standing on a wing. They gave a thumbs up to Broward Sheriff's helicopter air rescue pilot, indicating they were okay. U.S. Coast Guard had their helicopter there, and they performed a hoisting operation, and they hoisted both men up one at a time into their helicopter.
Mike,
and flew them back to Air Station Opelika.
You very briefly, if I could. We're looking at live pictures now of where that helicopter ended up at Opelika, as you just mentioned, and I imagine we see some emergency vehicles there on the scene. They will be going to get treated now. Can you tell us anything about their condition? I know you just described how able-bodied they were in getting themselves up to that waiting helicopter.
Only information that I have is what our pilot in our helicopter saw. They gave a thumbs up. Generally, that's a good sign that they're not injured. So they were brought on the Coast Guard helicopter. Broward Sheriff Fire Rescue's Everglades units, our airboats, are headed out there now and trying to access that remote crash scene to make sure there are no hazards and to see what else is going on. But this was a coordinated effort with Pembroke Pines Fire Rescue, the United States Coast Guard, 7th District, and their helicopter out of Air Station Opelika, and BSO Air Rescue.
Mike, you mentioned this is a multi-agency effort. We just saw the video there of one of those gentlemen giving the thumbs up to the Coast Guard helicopter. How did this call come in? Do you know what happened to this aircraft? Why does it end up in the Everglades here?
Yeah, we don't have that information, and that would probably be the question the FAA and NTSB would be looking at. What I can tell you is it came in as a small plane down. There was a Mayday call apparently transmitted. Then there was also a column of smoke that was seen out in the Everglades. Fortunately, that was from a burning trash pile, not from the aircraft. Did not appear there was any fire involved with this aircraft, so that's a good sign. Good sign that both men on board do not appear to be injured, at least not seriously.
Can you talk about the difficulty? Eric and I were discussing earlier, just watching our live pictures, the difficulty locating this small aircraft in such a vast area.
Well, you know, we have the luxury now of having things like GPS coordinates, and they were on a cell phone, so all of these things certainly help us. But when you're in the Everglades, you know, there are no street signs or landmarks out in the middle of the swamp, so we rely on GPS coordinates and our helicopter. Aerial support, a lot of times they'll find things out there, and it's much easier now using some of those tools that are available.
Work well done across the board. Mike Jackals from Broward Fire Rescue. Mike, thanks for the updates, and we'll keep looking for answers on exactly what happened to that airplane and how those two are doing with specifics later on today right here on Local 10. Mike, thanks.